A Sacramento supermarket. May 1999. You are standing in a grocery aisle, watching a civil engineer stare at a shelf of chocolate pudding cups. He hasn't moved in 60 seconds. His cart is empty. His eyes are running numbers. Something on this shelf just broke the laws of how money is supposed to work, and he knows it. His name is David Phillips, and in the next 3 weeks, he is going to legally steal 1.25 million airline miles from a Fortune 500 company using nothing but pudding cups, postage stamps, and a tax loophole nobody saw coming. The question isn't whether this is real. It is. Every mile, every flight, every first-class seat. The question is, how does a man turn $3,140 worth of chocolate pudding into a travel fortune worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? And why couldn't a corporation with an army of lawyers stop him? David Phillips was a civil engineer from Davis, California. Not a finance guy, not a hacker, not someone who spent his nights hunting corporate loopholes. He was the kind of person who read instruction manuals for fun and noticed when load-bearing calculations in a building didn't quite add up. He saw systems the way other people saw furniture, as objects with rules, tolerances, and hidden breaking points. That habit was about to cost Healthy Choice and American Airlines everything. But here is what nobody talks about. When David first spotted the promotion in May 1999, he almost kept walking. It was a standard loyalty campaign. Buy 10 Healthy Choice products, mail in the barcodes, earn frequent flyer miles. Companies ran these constantly. Nobody paid serious attention. The risk of him even bothering felt close to zero, except one small detail stopped him cold. The promotion said, any Healthy Choice product. Any. No minimum price. No spending floor. No cap on submissions. No household limit. The company had designed it assuming customers would buy frozen dinners at $2 each, or soups at 90 cents. Normal grocery items. They built the math around normal human behavior. David was not behaving normally. He found Healthy Choice chocolate pudding cups, sitting on clearance. 25 cents each. And here was the part that shouldn't have been possible. Every single cup had its own individual barcode. Not one barcode per multi-pack. One barcode per cup. 10 cups. $2.50. 1,000 airline miles. During the May double reward period, a standard transatlantic flight to Europe required 50,000 miles. In cash, that cost roughly $1,000. Through pudding cups, the same 50,000 miles cost $125. The corporation had not accidentally created a small discount. They had built something far more dangerous. Here is the exact moment the system broke. Healthy Choice had designed fraud protection around one assumption, that people would not fake purchases or forge barcodes. And that protection worked perfectly, but it protected the wrong thing entirely. The system was airtight against fraud. It was completely open to someone legally buying the maximum quantity of the cheapest qualifying product. Nobody had written a rule against that because nobody had imagined it. The loophole wasn't hidden. It was sitting on the front page of the promotion, and the machine it created had no off switch. David did the math 3 times because the first 2 answers felt insane. They were all the same number. Now understand what he was walking into. This plan had 4 ways to collapse completely before a single mile hit his account. First problem, the promotion ended June 30th. He had weeks, not months. Missed the deadline, and everything he bought was worthless weight in his garage. Second problem, purchasing in bulk at this scale would drain available stock fast, and if stores ran dry before he hit his target, the math fell apart. Third problem, every barcode had to be physically peeled from every cup and mailed separately. There was no digital shortcut, no automation, just hands, fingernails, and time running out. Fourth problem, and this was the one that could destroy everything. ConAgra, the parent company of Healthy Choice, could review his submissions and reject them if they found any technical reason, any ambiguity, any excuse at all. He had no legal guarantee, just the fine print of a promotional flyer. David drove across California anyway, Sacramento, Fresno, Stockton, Modesto. He moved city to city clearing shelves, shopping carts stacked floor to handle, with chocolate pudding. Store clerks started recognizing him. Some started calling him the pudding guy. Before he even reached the register. When they asked why, he told them he was stocking up for Y2K. People in 1999 genuinely believed computers might collapse at midnight on January 1st, 2000. Hoarding shelf-stable food sounded almost reasonable. They laughed and let him check out. He drove home with 12,150 pudding cups and approximately 6 weeks left on the clock. Then the third failure point hit him all at once. 12,000 pudding cups sitting in a garage. Every single barcode needs to be peeled by hand. His family sat down and started working. Hours passed. Fingers cramped. Nails split. The pile barely moved. At the current rate, they would not finish before the deadline. The loophole that had seemed mathematically perfect was about to collapse because of stickers. David stopped peeling and started thinking. He called the Salvation Army. He offered to donate all 12,000 pudding cups for free, no conditions, with one single request. Their volunteers needed to peel the barcodes off first and return them to him before the submission deadline. The charity received thousands of food donations. David received in his labor force overnight. Problem solved in 24 hours, but the tax code hadn't finished helping him yet. David purchased the cups at 25 cents each on clearance. Their standard retail price was 89 cents. Under IRS charitable donation rules, deductions are calculated at retail value, not purchase price, which meant the government handed him an $815 tax deduction. On purchases that had already been discounted to almost nothing, the promotion was paying him, the tax code was subsidizing him, and ConAgra still had no legal mechanism to stop him. David mailed 256 certified envelopes, every barcode logged, every receipt photocopied, every shipment number recorded. He prepared the documentation, like someone expecting a lawsuit, because he was. A corporation watching thousands of dollars leave its accounts does not stay polite for long. Weeks passed. Nothing arrived. No confirmation. No rejection. No communication at all. His friends told him he'd been scammed. His wife quietly worried the money was gone. David checked his accounts every day and found nothing but silence. Then one morning, a package arrived. He opened it on the living room floor and did not move for a long time. Inside were airline mile certificates, stacked in thick bundles. He counted them again. The number refused to change. 1,253,000 miles. It still wasn't over. When David attempted to deposit over 1 million airline miles simultaneously, fraud detection systems at American Airlines flagged the activity within seconds. A human reviewer pulled the file. Then another joined. This was not a routine check. Nobody earned 1 million miles overnight without stealing them. The reviewer opened the first envelope, checked the barcode against the promotion terms. Valid. Opened the second. Valid. Then the third. The fourth. 256 certified envelopes, each one a potential exit ramp for the corporation. One mismatched date. One barcode outside the eligible period. One submission outside the promotional window. Any single error, and the entire operation could be legally voided. The reviewer kept going, certificate by certificate, envelope by envelope, and every single one came back clean. No fake receipts, no forged barcodes, no broken rules. Just a man who had read a promotional flyer more carefully than the legal team. That wrote it. The reviewer approved the deposit. Then something else appeared on David's account that he hadn't anticipated. Lifetime gold status, priority boarding, automatic upgrades, lounge access on every future flight. The kind of elite status that business executives spend decades and tens of thousands of dollars accumulating. Granted permanently. Because of pudding cups and certified mail, the Los Angeles Times ran the story first, then CNN, then the Wall Street Journal. The moment it went public, ConAgra and American Airlines lost their last option. Revoking the miles now meant revoking them from a man the entire country was reading about. The story was too clean, too legal, too perfectly documented. There was no villain to point at, except a promotional flyer that had used the word any. David took his family to 40 countries, Over the following years, Europe, Asia, first-class cabins, hotels that used to exist only in photographs. His children grew up with a specific understanding of the world, that systems have tolerances, and that reading carefully is sometimes the most valuable skill a person can possess. His story quietly became the foundation of an entire movement. Travel hackers studied his method. The logic spread. By 2008, people were buying dollar coins from the US Mint on rewards credit cards, depositing them at banks, and generating miles for almost nothing, a practice that came to be known as manufactured spending, an industry built on the framework. One engineer assembled. In a Sacramento supermarket, Conagra rewrote the promotion terms immediately after. American Airlines tightened its fraud detection systems. Two corporations changed their policies because one man stopped in a grocery aisle and stared at a shelf of 25-cent pudding cups, long enough to see what nobody else had bothered to look for. The system didn't fail because it was poorly built. It failed because it was built. For people who don't read the fine print, David Phillips read everything.